Please rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Moines County Board of Supervisors, August 10th, 2021. Are there any changes to the tentative agenda? We have an agenda. Meet with department heads, elected officials. Moines County Auditor's Office, Cheryl McVeigh, Budget Director.
Good morning. We have rolled the 2020 real estate file down to the treasurer's office, and I believe the assessor's office will be rolling the 21 file to us today. So we're getting ready for tax billing.
Took a long week for you, Janelle.
Well, yeah, and I hope it's not another long week. We're kind of stumped. We're stalled for just a minute, but hopefully Tyler gets that figured out.
Oh, no.
It'll be good.
It was a tough year
Yeah.
to get this file done. Tyler had a lot of issues.
Tyler being the software program.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Colin Gerst, IT. Did you get my email?
Yeah, I replied to that this morning. I saw what you're referring to, but
Said I clicked on a link and I hadn't even opened their email yet to see what was in it.
yeah, I forwarded you back an email. I'll reply to
Okay.
that. But yeah, nothing new to report. Just keep busy like always.
Thanks, Colin. Kevin Glendenny, Des Moines County Sheriff.
Hi, good morning. Things are going well at the sheriff's office. We had an influx of motor vehicle burglaries and vehicle thefts. Between rural areas of the county and Burlington and down into Lee County, the vehicles were kind of being rotated and switched around. So this morning, about 5 a.m., some proactive work of our third shift deputies, they were able to identify some suspects. So we're working on that as we speak, but I would just encourage everybody to make sure they keep their vehicles locked. It's typically vehicles that are left unlocked with keys in them. So if just secure your vehicles. I know you live in rural areas, but unfortunately sometimes that's the target area. But hopefully we have those suspects located, but there's always more to replace them. So lock up your belongings, lock up your vehicles. Jail's doing well. We're at 69, 4 out of county, so holding strong there, and nothing else major going on.
Thanks, Kevin. Brooke Marlin, Veterans Affairs and General Assistance.
Nothing new to really report, just keep it busy.
Thank you. Zach James, Southeast Iowa Regional Planning, Land Use.
Good morning. Not a whole lot new to report. Just had a couple new subdivision inquiries. Got a couple floodplain requests. What was I gonna say? A floodplain advisory committee meetings next Tuesday at 4:30. So it's a reminder for you because you're on there.
That should be on my phone. I'll try to remember to look.
I was actually just going through my email because I was gonna make a note and I couldn't find it on my calendar, so I had to look it up in my email.
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday at 4:30, and that's to review the updated floodplain ordinance and then the updated FIR maps that FEMA's been working on for the last couple of years. That both need to be adopted before, I forget the exact date, it's like October 28th or something, to become effective. So we're gonna be reviewing those things next week.
I'll look forward
Nothing
to
else
it.
new? I'm sure you will.
Thanks, Zach.
You're welcome.
Brian Carter, Secondary Roads. Congratulations on opening Highway 99.
Yeah, good morning. I don't think it's new news at this point, but the 99 is
I was in
open.
here last week to
Yeah.
bask in the,
Well, all three of you did know immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is good news. There is still some work to be done. People are gonna still see some activity down there, but it'll all be done at least while the road's open. There may be they might have to slow down and go around some construction or something like that. I think there's a little bit of riprap left to be placed, and there's of course seeding to be done. Kind of waiting for a little bit better weather for growing grass, I think. So, and probably the subcontractors' availability also. So anyway, that's still to be done, but otherwise, I've been through there. I'd encourage you to go through it, but I think in all, it turned out really nice, and it'd been a lot nicer to be drier this spring, but that's just the card you're dealt as far as the weather goes, so, you can't complain, it's good to have it open. I think generally everybody, even though they're frustrated with its closure, are more than happy to have it open. I'll bounce from that to the other closure that will happen kind of on the other end of that segment, which is over at Upper Flint and Highway 61. I don't know the day that's going closed. We wanted traffic to get back and accustomed to using 99, so I think it could close even this week. I don't have a solid time frame. Of course, that's all because of the DOT project. I should mention that is not a county-related project, but they're going to try to keep the closure to a minimum, but I don't think there's a set number of days or whatever. I guess I would anticipate no less than a month on that closure, and I've heard as long as 2 months. The DOT would prefer not to have it that long, so I will see who wins out. But I guess I will mention that because you open one end, the other closes, I guess. But and then Flint Bottom's still going, so they're still making headway. I would guess that the contractor is working on removing the concrete and doing the rock and the dirt and everything else. They probably still have another 3 to 4 weeks of work, I would guess, and then eventually the paving contractor plans on just coming in when they're done and get in there and paving. So, so that project is going to continue for a while, I would mention. Geo project should start next week. Detour route should be going up here later this week, obviously, or early next. They were out marking out signs and stuff. That detour actually goes off into Henry County and Lee County and down onto Highway 16 for some of the paved roads. I'm guessing most people won't actually follow the detour, but anyway, that project will come along, and it's probably a month and a half type project, give or take. Hopefully a little bit less, but in that area. And it's needed. Been out there, that hill needs dealt with fairly badly. Especially if you're a bike rider, I know most of them really don't like that hill. So I'm not, so I can't speak from experience. And then the other one yet this, big one I guess we'll call yet this year is Pleasant Grove Road. We had a pre-construction meeting, and even though the late start date on that is the middle of August, which is actually next week when that one comes along, they're not looking at starting any work till the middle of September. So we asked the question just for curiosity more than anything. We were clearly not wanting to be square in the middle of harvest, or at least right there the first half of harvest for that project, because that's a little longer project. That's probably a couple months. However, they can't find enough bodies to run the amount of paving crews they need to run. It's really pretty simple math for them. They have a lot of expensive equipment and they don't have enough bodies to have crews to run it. So it's just the nature of it for them, unfortunately. Shane's been talking about getting people back to work and giving them options and stuff like that. There seriously is nowhere in the construction industry you turn where they're not desperate for employees. So I'd mention that because you can't talk to anybody that isn't looking for them. That sounds like that's gonna be a little later than we anticipated. Kind of factors that are kind of beyond everybody's control, but that's just the way it goes. So that will unfortunately probably be closed off at least the first part of harvest, if not through harvest, just depending on how quickly they can knock it out. But that's such is life. Yeah, plenty of other stuff going on. We're ditching on Irish Ridge, and trying to get some mowing done and just kind of spreading out thin to try to get things done. So.
Talk about you took a ride last night. That's awful hard on Mustangs too. We went out that way and I probably should have turned around and come back because there's a couple places you can drag if you hit them holes just right.
Well, you weren't driving fast enough.
Smooth step.
But, well, you know, we patched that years ago for one of the RAGBRAI events. And for all I know, the patch job is the only thing holding it together, which is holding it together is kind of a rough term because it's been in poor shape for a while. So it's been needed, and we've you know, it's probably one of those projects that we're it probably wouldn't have happened if we hadn't had all the good bids we've had in the last couple of years. We probably don't have that money in a normal situation, so it's nice to be able to spread it out and get to some of those smaller but bad areas. So,
How far up does county line go? Just on top of the hill there, right?
yeah, just on top, it's not very far. We're not quite going all the way to the county line, we're just doing the worst of the hill, but it's not very far up there. I don't have a landmark to give you, because there really isn't one up there, but you don't go very far before you hit the county line. So, and we have communicated with Henry County, and Lee County on that, and
And the road going through the park, that's all state highway, right?
no, the road itself, the road itself is county road.
That's county road.
We have an agreement with Henry County, so actually when you see snow removal, we take something else and they take that road for snow removal. But the road itself is taken care of by county. So, I mean, obviously the dam belongs to the DNR, but they don't claim the road, of course, so. Anyway, plenty of stuff to go on yet this year, and we have plenty of work to do, so, but that's an update on projects. So.
Thank you, Brian. Natalie Steffner, Des Moines County Recorder.
Good morning. Nothing new to report, just still continue to work on indexing old records, so that's about it.
Janelle now Alonquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Good morning. As Cheryl mentioned, as of yesterday afternoon, we're in possession of the 2020 tax file, but we are stalled at the moment for software issues. But originally, the state kind of put us back to put all counties back. But as soon as we can, we'll get going on that, and yeah, we'll get those out hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But that's all I have right now.
Good luck.
You weren't, oh, well, no, you will get them. I assure you.
Ken Hyman,
Handle it.
Director of Community Services.
Handle it.
Good morning. Tomorrow, the CO region has our monthly meetings. At our 9 o'clock stakeholder change agent meeting, I think they're gonna try out the new Night Owl system that they just purchased in that building at Emergency Management in Mount Pleasant. Some people are gonna be at the building and some people are gonna call in and do the meeting virtually. And the problem at that building is you can't hear when other people are talking. So we got this new system that's gonna be installed tomorrow, and we'll see how it works. It's supposed to be able to hear people better in the meetings, so. We're doing more and more of those virtual meetings, so I think it'll be helpful.
I'll be sure to have our meeting down there, shut the doors so we can be quiet on the other end, okay?
Yeah, I think it'll just get our room, but yeah, it's somehow that, I think the microphone or something moves to whoever's talking or something, but I'll have to, I haven't seen the system yet, so I'll have to see that. I plan to go in person tomorrow and take the claims and everything, and I'll see that system.
Some of those stakeholder meetings, it was hard to tell who was talking even when everybody was in the room.
Yeah, it's a big, there's a lot of people there when everybody shows up, so.
Not necessarily talking when someone else isn't talking.
Yeah.
Krista Pogemiller, Public Health.
Good morning. We continue to be busy. We're seeing an uptick in the number of COVID cases. In the last 7 days, we're at 14% with 75 cases. So this is a great time for anyone that hasn't gotten the vaccine yet to get vaccinated. We are doing a drive-through vaccine clinic at Memorial Auditorium from 2:30 to 6 on August 20th. And so we'll have that set up. People can just drive through, get their vaccine, wait in their cars for their 15 minutes. So, and we're also still have the COVID test kits at our office. So anyone that needs a test kit, those are test kits people take home and either send in directly to the state, or they can bring them back and we will send those in with our with the courier. We do ask people that are coming in for the test kits, there's notes on, or signs on our door. We're asking people to remain in their car, call us, and we will bring the test kits out to them, because obviously, people that are coming for test kits may have symptoms, and we really don't want them to expose anyone in our lobby area. So, Again, can't emphasize enough, this might be a really good time for people to get their vaccine. We have all three, we have the Johnson & Johnson, the Pfizer, and the Moderna.
How long does it take to get the results on those test kits you're talking about?
Once they're sent in, about 48 hours,
Okay. About the same as when they had test Iowa?
yes.
Okay.
They sign up, they put in their information, they'll activate the kit, and then it's just like Test Iowa, you get an email and an access code, and it'll tell you whether you're positive or negative.
Thanks, Kristen.
Chris, I see on the news where they're throwing doses of this away because it's outdated. Have we had to throw any of it away?
So, yes, there is vaccine that, if that's what you're asking, is
Yeah.
if they're expired.
Yeah.
So there's an expiration date on vaccine, and unfortunately, sometimes we do have vaccine that we have to dispose of. One of those, the Johnson & Johnson is one that sometimes they will extend the expiration dates on, but we do have vaccine that we try very hard to share with our partners in different counties and things, but you know, the number of vaccinations have definitely gone down. So we had a lot of people wanting vaccine, and then from one week to the next, we had quite the slowdown. And so we do have some on hand that if we aren't able to give, will be expiring.
What do you do with that? Send that back to the company, or do you?
Generally, we waste that, or we dispose of it.
Thanks, Kristen. Chris Lee, Conservation.
Good morning. Biggest thing we've got going is coming up this weekend. Friday night's gonna be our volunteer recognition dinner, that we do every year, and then Saturday's our summer celebration. Both events are at Stars Cave. Saturday's event is 11 till 4. We're gonna do creek stomping. We'll have bikes out, you can ride the trail, hike the trail, explore the nature center. Just kind of all things kind of celebrating the end of summer. So yeah, so it's always a good event. We'll have plenty of food. Looking forward to folks coming out.
Creek stomping.
Yeah, going down, and so, it was an annual event we used to do always around Memorial Day weekend, but due to the flood regime, we decided to move it back to August. So we got nets and stuff out, you can go out and you can find all the aquatic creatures that, live down in the creek, and bring them up, we can identify them, we've got these microscopes you can look at them through. We've even got one that'll project them onto a TV, so whatever you put underneath there, you'll be able to see on a Great Week TV. Kind of neat, seeing what lives in the aquatic world there, so critter catch, I guess we call it. So,
I was down in Florida last week, and my brother-in-law told me that a friend of his works for the Florida Department of Natural Resources or something like that. And some campgrounds that they have in the Everglades, he said the biggest complaint they used to have is raccoons. He said they don't get those complaints anymore.
I hate to guess what replaced us.
I don't think they probably bother the campers very much, but they're hard on the raccoons.
Yeah, well, might be something to consider up here. We certainly seem to have the weather for it right now.
I'd rather have a raccoon.
They're unpleasant animals, but
I don't
blame you.
I don't like the snake if it's that long.
Yeah. So that's kind of, other than that, it's just, the crew's been out working, we're trying to do some trail work and stuff. It's crazy hot out, so that's kind of slow going. Just gonna make sure that we're taking care of everybody. We do have a couple of agenda items today, so I'm hiring some additional part-time help, because we do have a couple vacancies. And so this is just kind of a part-time to fill in for that, kind of short term.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Is there anybody? Okay. I didn't miss anybody. Correspondence. I don't have any correspondence, but here you gentlemen. We'll proceed to discussion and vote. We have payroll claims reimbursements, the amount of $1,848.83. Move to approve.
Second?
Terry.
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have a Class B native wine permit. This isn't Iowa law or permit that grocery stores and stores like that, you can sell native wines for off-premises consumption, even on Sunday. Would that be correct? I didn't contact you, I assumed there wasn't a problem with that.
Country Treasures doesn't have any problems.
Country Treasures, yes.
Move to approve.
Second. Cheryl?
Very good. Jim Carrey,
You got 'em.
Shane
Oh,
Campbell,
John.
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Personnel actions. We have one for the auditor's office. Kathy Hausman, clerk 2, 24-month step increase. The previous rate was $33,596.25. The new rate is $34,396.03.
Move to approve.
Second. Cheryl?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Personnel action for the recorder's office. Renee Wellborn, clerk 2, 3 hours unpaid for July 30th, 2021. Move to approve.
Second.
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have 2 personnel actions for DESCOM. We have Brandel Diaz, new hire starting July 12th, the rate of $42,120. And Kelly Rotifer, resigned full-time, staying on part-time as needed. The way I understand it, she's staying on to train the new person, I believe. Her previous rate was $52,416. The new rate is $25.20 an hour. Is that right? $25.20, I think.
That's correct.
Okay, $25.20. Move to approve.
Second.
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have 3 personnel actions for the conservation. We have Dalton Thompson, conservation technician, part-time, a new hire at the rate of $15 an hour. We have Harrison Beatty, a part-time conservation technician, 6-month step increase from $15 an hour to $15.50 an hour. And Derek Hester, part-time conservation technician, a 6-month step increase from $15 an hour to $15.50 an hour.
Move to approve all 3.
Second. Cheryl?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have 2 personnel actions for the sheriff's department. We have James Schweitzer. Okay.
Xander Schweiss.
Oh, James Zander Schweiss.
Yes.
Okay. A new hire, rate of $47,107.10. And John Michael Gates, John Gates.
John Michael Gates.
John Michael Gates, okay. Okay. A new hire at the rate of $47,107.10. just in time to start law enforcement school at the end of the month, right?
The academy starts the 30th, and they'll be starting the week before, so I'll plan on bringing them over to the board meeting to introduce them to everybody on the 24th.
Move to approve again.
Second.
We get a second?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have reports. We have the General Assistance Monthly Report for July 2021. Veterans Affairs Monthly Report for July 2021. The Recorder's Report of Fees Collected for July 2021. These reports will be on file in the auditor's office and available for public review. And we have minutes for the regular meeting of August 3rd, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second. Cheryl?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Abstain. Other business?
I have none.
Gotta find it.
I feel like there's pressure on me, like you're staring at me right now. Okay, the performance anxiety overtook me. I can't find it. It's dog blasted.
If it occurs to you before the end of the meeting, that's
Okay.
fine. Okay, future agenda items.
I don't have any unless we don't get through with that handbook today.
We need to set up a work session with Mike Morrison, and I think they're gonna have Della from the chamber and Bob Bartles regarding
Housing.
that American Rescue Plan and housing, so I don't know what's convenient for Mike. You see him, you can ask him, he can contact
He's
the
on
auditor's
vacation
office.
all week, so.
Oh, he's on vacation all week?
Yeah.
We won't be hearing from him.
No.
Whenever we get a chance, and I'll try to remember, to reach out to him, we'll reach out.
I'll make a note though too, I'll try and remember to, when I see it next week.
I found it, Chairman.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Mine was just temporary protection from eviction. The CDC eviction moratorium expired on July 31st, 2021, and was not expected to be extended. However, given the recent surge in COVID-19 cases and emergence of the Delta variant, on August 3rd, the CDC issued a new order temporarily halting evictions. This order will expire on October 3rd, 2021, blah, 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 but I just wanted to make sure I shared.
okay. Also, we got a letter. Well, reach out to Della at the partnership. I'll do that, and on that, they've sent a request to have a work session with the board regarding the American Rescue Plan and the Convention and Tourism, Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'll reach out to.
So Della and, or is,
Oh, just Della and, cause,
Chelsea.
yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea coming or is
she just
Chelsea
got-
backing away?
No, I think she just took a new job here in the last couple weeks, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Committee reports.
Real quick, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say something to Terry when she got back, but a few weeks ago, I mentioned that I did the CISA external cybersecurity assessment there up in Des Moines. I finally got that report back late last week, like last Friday. I'm gonna try to come up with something to put on the agenda to have a closed work session with you guys here within probably the next couple of weeks. It's like an 80-page report. I figured I'd just hand that over and have you guys read it. I'm gonna try to
That'll turn out well.
try to break it down a little bit, and go over that. I think would be pretty beneficial. So I'm gonna I'll talk with Terry when she gets back, but give me like a week or so. I'm gonna come up with something, and we'll have a closed work session on it. So.
Okay. The CISA's cybersecurity in the state, so that'd be the reason it would be a closed session. Okay, thank you. Committee reports, any others?
I went to conservation last week, and Chris presented upcoming things, and we're gonna get a ballpark figure on a new workshop. I can't remember, was it 80 by 120?
50 by 85?
50 by 85, see, he knows. I was gonna give you a bigger one.
Hey, well, you know, I can.
And
size it.
outside of that, everything's still going pretty smooth.
Okay.
Unless you have anything to add, I think you kind of covered it when you was talking there.
Yeah. And you guys are getting my post-meeting summaries, right?
Yeah. And sometime, you're talking about that American Rescue Plan. We'll need to have a work session or something like that where you can
Yep.
give a presentation.
Yeah, you bet.
I didn't attend any meetings. Public input. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, you may email us, the Board of Supervisors, at board@dmcounty.com. That's BOARD@dmcounty.com. You may call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you a couple minutes to initiate that email or phone call. In the meantime, does anybody in the room have any comments?
I was just thinking maybe we could look into changing the Tyler system, changing it over back to Updog. Anybody have any problems with that?
What's up?
Going from, what Updog? Not much. I've been trying to get somebody to play along since January 1st. Thank you, Chris.
I got my daughter on that one the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, it was fabulous.
Yeah, he can't beat it.
Hey, I will say, Kevin, last week at the National Night Out, that was really great. We attended that down there, and to see some of our department heads sitting here that was down there, and fellow supervisor that was over there, and it was great seeing all the people down there. Now, I don't know how many times I had people ask me, "Aren't you gonna eat a hot dog?" My wife had better ideas.
Yeah.
It was a good event, man.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was a neat event for the community and just what we wanted to see happen.
Except for my only complaint, which was good to see down there. My only complaint was, Lisa's not here, but she opened up the event. She said, well, in the famous words of Wang Chung, everybody have fun tonight. And then the DJ came in right on cue. You just can't make that stuff up. So, besides that, it was a great event. I hope Lisa's watching. Wang Chung!
Yeah, I'll add, my son thought it was great, so, with all the equipment and everything, yeah. he
It was good. It was good.
Well, I attended the last one, I think it was 10 years ago, and it's, I started to miss it, but my officiate refereeing skills were needed elsewhere. Okay.
The thing on that, like I said last time, that I need an IT to shut my alarm off. Anyway, your vehicle, you know, your armored car.
The MRAP,
That's the first time I had knew about that. I was at my grandson's graduation down in Springfield, Illinois. And Mike called up and talked to me about it, and I think he called you and talked to you about it. I was really impressed with it. I'd never seen it until then. But getting something that cheap, just for transportation, I think is great.
armored vehicles have become a political talking point over the last year or two.
No doubt.
And what that vehicle provides is an enormous amount of safety for our deputies, but for the public as well. So we've had opportunities to respond to very unfortunate incidents where we may have had to use a level of force, deadly force, but because we're in an armored vehicle where we can get close to a situation where we can try to de-escalate, we can talk somebody down, we don't have to use that level of force.
That situation in Fort Madison, West Burlington, not too long ago. Well,
Yeah,
was it early this year?
and there's been several others since then where we can get neighbors safely out of there, where we can secure a neighborhood, get people to a safety area, and it's a big mobile shield. It's to keep people safe and keep the deputies safe that are trying to provide help. But the unfortunate side of it is that it became this political talking point to.
What do you need that type of equipment? What?
Right. And it's to save lives. It's a rescue vehicle. It's not an assault vehicle. But without it, we'd had some situations over the last several years that would have gone much differently.
Yeah, the county couldn't afford to buy something like that just to have sitting around, but
Yeah. In the private market, you can buy what's called a Bearcat, and that's about $240,000.
yeah.
And typically what happens is you go regionally with multiple counties. The Iowa State Patrol has 2 or 3 Bearcats that they can send if needed, but having the MRAP and that federal program that we're able to get through is very beneficial.
Mr. Buishner, you beat adjournment, so we're going to give you an opportunity to tell us about
Sorry I was late, I had an appointment. Don't really have much new other than did put out an RFP for the front steps, so sent that to a few of the contractors, so hope to hear back from that in a few weeks, I think 30th, the end of the month.
Do we know how long that's gonna be, that project's gonna be?
Not at this time.
Are you advertising that too?
Yeah, it'll be on the county website. So if we go to the county website under bid opportunities, it should be there, and I think they're gonna do a highlight on the front page there, so it makes it nice and easy to get to, so.
Can I make comments on there?
What's that? Turning comments on? I can't blame the bridge now, so.
I told Cheryl before, I didn't realize the county had a Facebook page, and apparently, she said we don't, it's just some of the departments have one. And I was gonna ask you, the new generator out of the jail, how's that working?
It's just about complete, we're waiting for Alliant to set the transformer,
Okay.
and then it'd just be like a 4-hour switch over there.
Switch
and we'll
over.
be good to go, yeah. Yep, we're real close.
Typically next week, they're gonna do that.
Okay.
Just keep it.
How long have you been hiding back there?
Just seeing if you
That's
can
the way
say
he likes to
anything
do
about
his
it.
job.
He's been here the whole time, he's been telling me what to say.
Yeah.
Dude, you got done. I just like
What
to work that way.
did golf take a little bit longer this morning for you?
Yeah, tea time was running a little late.
Okay, if there's nothing else, but then I will adjourn.
All right.
We are adjourned. It'll be a work session with the elected officials, department heads, and the board of supervisors regarding the employee handbook.
Brad gave you one.
Is that the reason, Terry?